All right, guys. So, part two, being single and a targeted individual. I know, what a combination. Um, and this is only an opinion piece, you guys. This is not like, you know, this is not a textbook situation. You guys have been watching enough of my content to know that you've been watching enough of my content to know that a lot of what I have to say is this is my opinion. This is my opinion. These are my experiences. It's not based off of any type of textbook or any type of policy or whatever, right? So anyway, I guess I'll come up with a disclaimer for these types of videos when I decide I want to talk about, that part of my journey. I have like a little disclaimer or something, right? So yes, I just said that I have been single for 15 years. I was single for 15 years for a reason. Um, but one of the reasons was because I am a targeted individual. And you could look that up and figure out what that means. But that means that I am under very close watch when it comes to I guess some type of secret organization or something like that that wants to, they use me as like a case study from what I understand, right? And as a little girl, I didn't understand exactly why that was happening. But I did watch my mom go through a great deal of harassment, a lot of what I'm going through right now that just started. I watched that happen. And I watched people lie on my mother, and her I watched her heart harden because I saw how people had misjudged her and intentionally misunderstood her and planted really bad seeds about her. And I didn't know that it was something that would, like continue on, like with me, and possibly even my children. I didn't know that. I just thought that people were really mean in the world. And I knew that I didn't want to be one of those mean people at a very young age. That's literally how I felt, And so fast forward all the way through all these years, right? I decided that I didn't want to bring anybody else into what I was going through until I could fully understand it. And also, I was going through a heartbreak because my children's father had done me so wrong. And I don't know if that was like a part of the plan or a part of the plot against, me. I don't know. But it definitely, played a role in me staying single because I didn't want people in my business. I didn't want I didn't want I didn't want anybody to feel like they were targeted too. Like I didn't want it if it was like some type of a curse or something, because I didn't know. So I was like, if it was some type of curse or something, I wouldn't want to bring somebody else into that's completely innocent. So that's one of the reasons why too, is like me trying to understand my life and me trying to understand what was all happening and why. And then also me healing from a broken heart. It was not easy spending almost a decade with a person and having children with that person and pretty much building a life that, heavily included him, and him being whatever, right? So I just kind of decided to stay to myself and grow and heal and build. And I learned that while on my journey trying to build a life for myself and my children, post our separation, and well, no, let me not say separation because we were never married, in 2010, it was like, let me do what I can do to provide for me and my family, right? And I noticed that everything I was trying to build, it was just getting like torn down, like out of nowhere. It was just like, wait, what is going on here? Let me reposition my camera, you guys. It's like, what is going on here? Like why is that happening and that's happening and that's happening? Well, there have been some people, especially people, that are currently targeting me. The world, they know about that one, but they don't know about what was happening while I was growing up, because I don't talk about it. Not from my perspective, they don't know. And I'm not going to lie to you. I feel like he was sent to me to break my heart. That's what I feel. And it took a long time for me to accept that that's a possibility. And that was another reason why I did not want to allow anyone else in my life, because I felt like, they've already been kind of like pre-assigned to break my heart, you know? And so I focused on work. I focused on my life. I focused on my family. I focused on taking my little classes when I could. It was just like I had to focus mainly on my family and work, because they would never approve me for any type of student loans or whatever. So I didn't have the luxury of being able to like take that time off of work and like go to school and this and that. Like I had to work, save money, then pay for school. And then while I was in school, I wasn't able to work, even though, it was night classes. It was this, it was that. It was like, well, at night, I can't leave my kids in the house by themselves. I didn't have any help. So it's like, okay, well, let's go online. Then I go online, then that's a whole other situation. There was always something wrong. And I'm watching a situation within my family play out right now. And I'm like, it was all orchestrated. It was orchestrated. And to be honest, people probably, what I'm going through right now, even all of how I'm looking, everything, this is everything. It was all planned. It was all planned. And I realized that some years ago, but I feel okay enough to talk about it right now, because I know somewhere out there in the world, there are other people like me who have been targeted. They've been used as case studies. They've been used as models for other people's lives. And it is what it is. What do I mean by that? Let's break that down just a little bit more. Have you ever been with someone who will obsess about something about you? Like they'll obsess about something, like, I don't know, the way you do your hair or something like that, right? And you guys are, dealing with each other, talking, I don't know, whatever. And you just know they always fuss about your hair. They love your hair so much. And then you break up, you go your separate ways, and then you run into that person and they're with someone else, and you're kind of like, you're over it anyway. You're not really worried about it. You're just, happy to see you're happy. But you happen to notice something about the person that they're with. That person is wearing their hair exactly like you. Or you notice that that person's hairstyle looks like yours, or that that person's clothing looks like yours, or whatever. And it's like, well, wait a minute. Why would you actively participate in a relationship with me, fuss over all the things that certain little things or whatever, right? And then you go off to the next person and you mold that person into me? So to me, that kind of seemed a little sick to me. Like, you basically used me as a template for someone else. It's like they couldn't deal with like the real me, so they tried to like recreate me in someone else. And so I've watched that happen in a number of ways also over the years. And I just feel like, I don't know, I just feel a way about people now, and I'm very vulnerable when it comes to the way that I speak with vulnerability. There we go. When I say, things along these lines, and when I speak about, my love life and or lack thereof or whatever, and my concerns, which led to me just kind of like really shying away from potential partnerships altogether, because people are weird and people are sick and people are really messed up, and they do really messed up things to people. And as far as I'm concerned, a lot of people don't know, but they don't know me well enough to know, but I've never been a promiscuous person. I haven't had a lot of relationships. I've had one major relationship with my kid's father. I had a son when I got with him. I could not find his father. Yes, I knew exactly who my son's father was. Thank you. I did hear somebody being really cruel and saying something about that. Yes, I was always very sure about who my son's father was. Okay. It's just that we were very young when we conceived him. And as soon as my mother found out that I was pregnant, she decided that she was going to move me. And so we ended up moving far away, and she took my phone and any form of communication that I had and threw it out. And then I was able to have a healthy pregnancy. I was able to have my now 24-year-old son, so, that's that on that, right? So I've never been the type of person who specialized in love and relationships and partnership and all that. Like, I wasn't worried about that. I was worried about trying to go to school. I was trying to have myself a little business on the side, honey. I'm like, okay, yes, I have my children, but that ain't stopping nothing. We gonna get, we gonna get to this bag, basically, So it was always me just being super ambitious in life and always going after what I wanted to go after, right? And so, and I never let certain things like my being a mom or, any of that stand in my way. But I think during that time, I just stopped trusting people. Just people were showing me who they were. And with my children's father, he was showing